Hi, everybody. Welcome in our cycle Reading with Ella in English. Hi, Ella.
Hi, everyone.
For the first time, we run our series in English, so I hope you feel comfortable. After so many books read in English, I hope it will be okay. And for the first time, we meet discussing a book that I haven't read. So I am totally dependent on your opinion, your impressions. Unfortunately, I cannot contribute. What is the book and how did you find it?
Okay, this book is very famous, to be honest. It's Harry Potter. Uh,
Classic.
Classic,
J.K.
yes.
Rowling, J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, Volume 1.
Yes, volume one, yes. But I have never read this book before, and I have never watched a movie before. So for me, it's a new book, and I find this book how. When I started to read books in English, in different articles, I read that Harry Potter is the best book for people who learn English.
All right.
And because I thought that story, it's not for me because, I don't like.
It's a bit like a fantasy world,
Yes.
right? Some magic and
And maybe for younger readers, I
mhm.
don't know. But last summer, when I was looking for a book in English, I read article about Harry Potter in English, and I thought, okay, maybe I can try, and if I think that it's not for me, I can
Mhm.
resign for this book. So
So you started,
yes.
and what are your impressions from the text? How does it read? What's the language like? And yeah, what is the structure of the book as well?
Um, it's complex, to be honest, because first of all, language is, in my opinion, simply.
Mhm.
Rowling uses simple and understandable language.
Mhm.
Uh, I read that especially in the first volumes of the series. Probably in the
Mhm.
next series, it's more advanced, but I don't know why. I don't know now, sorry. And uh, I think that dialogues are natural
Mhm.
and for me spontaneous. For Jędrek, it's not
Yeah, I told you.
spontaneous.
Yeah, I told you. For me, spontaneous dialogues. It's like someone saying surprising things that you're not ready for. But what you mean by that is that they are simply casual. That they are just it's just like
Casual, yes.
language, street language, let's say,
Uh,
or at least casual language.
Yes, but in my opinion, protagonists use colloquial phrases, but not
Hmm.
colloquial like, in Polish language, like łacina
Slang
podwórkowa,
or
slang, yes.
oh yeah, like okay, like bad language, harsh language.
Yes, but and in my opinion, these protagonists use idioms, but it's simply in idioms, to be honest. And I think that it's because this book are dedicated for younger readers, and I think
Mhm.
that this generally words, sentences must be easy because, if read younger people,
Yes.
they try.
It's similar to our previous books, right? That were either maybe not for children, but from the written from the perspective of a child, right? So the language
Yes.
is naturally simpler. However, um, I must tell you that I tried Harry Potter Volume 1 a few times, maybe two or even three times in Polish. That is
Mhm.
important, And somehow I couldn't get through the first couple of pages, the critical, a few pages when you start liking the text, And I was somehow repulsed by the text. I thought it's complex. I thought, honestly, at least the Polish translation wasn't so inviting at first. But I'm glad to hear that the English edition, the original edition, is actually quite accessible. It's simple.
Yes, I think yes, but of course, I encounter different difficulties. For example, this book contain many new words, invented
Hmm.
words. You know,
Yes.
uh,
Neologisms
yes,
and
and these words.
Googles and
Yes,
others. Yeah.
and this word related to magic words,
Yes.
but and I'm afraid that I can have a problem with understanding because new word in Polish sometimes it's too
Yes.
hard to
It's
understand.
confusing, it's
Uh,
yes.
Yes, but I think that these words are often well explained in the context of the
Yes.
plot. So, of course, if you start to read, for example, a few sentences, you can have problem to understand. But if you dedicate a lot of time to read this book all time and often, for example, every day you read one chapter, I think that you don't have problem to understand these words because you are in this plot,
Yes. Yes.
And for me, it's problem, maybe not big problem, but problem with chapters because these chapters
They're long.
are too long. Yes, uh, we mentioned it our earlier channels that I prefer when I have short
Of
chapters.
course. So how did you solve the problem of stopping? You stop somewhere because it's too much for the night or too much for a given moment.
I stopped to read, to be honest.
All right.
I couldn't find a solution
So at the
because
end of a paragraph, you just say, okay, that's it. I
yes,
stay here.
yes. For example, generally, I tried to read all chapter
Hmm.
in the same time
Hmm.
because it was summer. I have more time. I had more time, and so on. But of course, I have two and three situations when I had to stop reading. In random pages. But I think that, okay, the chapters are too long, but in my opinion, because plot is maybe not very interesting, but it's interesting and
Hmm. Hmm.
simply, and
Interesting enough to keep you, wanting
yes,
more.
yes, and I want to read, and I want to read, later and later in this time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So uh, it's very interesting for me because I mentioned that generally this plot, this story, it's not for me. But I think that because I understand a lot of sentences,
Hmm.
a lot of text, I keep this book keep my motivation.
Yes.
So for me, it's very important.
All right. So, what is your overall opinion about it? Do you recommend reading this in the original version?
Yes.
Do you recommend it to adults as well?
Yes, especially for people who like this book in Polish language and
Mm.
movies. And of course, for us is big benefit with reading in English language because this book include a lot of words in English. So I think
Yeah.
that is the best and the big benefits for us.
Right. So the book is edible, so to say. You can read it, you can understand it. The structure is not a big problem, even though we prefer shorter chapters, but it's fine. Overall, you recommend, and I have to believe you because, like I said, I was unable to go through the several few pages, critical pages in the Polish language. So perhaps it's a matter of translation. I don't know.
And I want to add one thing. For me, it was the first time when I read a book in English in ebook, not
All right.
paper. But
Mhm.
I think that it's not too important. But earlier I choose English books in like paper
Mhm.
because I feel I don't know why, to be honest. I feel better. I feel confident that I can maybe return and so on.
Mhm.
But today I read this book in ebook, and I prefer probably this solution.
Right. Right. So that's it. J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, Volume 1. And Ella, you recommend the book.
Of course.
All right. Excellent. And so we recommend that to our viewers. Thanks a lot for your attention. Stay tuned for the next edition of our program. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.